Today is Wednesday, March 22. I'm Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Deuteronomy 5. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. That's Deuteronomy 5, verse 11, the third word of the covenant. This third word is grounded once again in a relationship with God. As such, it's helpful to think of it in relational terms, I think. The question being, how do you talk about someone that you know and love? Take a marriage, for instance. When a marriage relationship is healthy and strong, it is highly unlikely that you will hear one of the partners in that marriage use the other person's name as a swear word or as the butt of a cruel joke. Now, behind closed doors, they may indeed exchange some heated words with one another, but in public, they are not likely to dishonor the other's name. In fact, if and when we do hear a partner to a marriage start to speak more critically of their spouse in more public spaces, we recognize it as a red flag, presuming that they might be struggling and in need of our support and care. This is the idea here as well. We use God's name with honor and respect because we know God and love God, even as we are known and loved by Him. We care for God's good name because there is a mutual caring between us. The New Testament's imagery of bride and bridegroom invites this comparison of mutuality, even though we certainly also understand a difference and a deference between God and ourselves. Further, God's name is not misused when we angrily shout or cry out at, to, and with Him in the context of prayer and lament. The Psalms do this all the time, sometimes in rather harsh and bluntly honest language that makes us blush. But the critical point in the Psalms is that these fights remain within the context of the relationship. The name of God continues to be used in the context of personal address to God, which honors God and our relationship with Him. Another concern of this command is oaths. The Catechism suggests we may use God's name when required to for an oath, though it cautions us against it if it isn't needed, as does Jesus when He says, "Let your yes be yes, and your no, no." The idea here again is relational. God knows us and can vouch for our truthfulness, which is why we might invoke His name in an oath. But the reverse is also true. Should we be found to be lying, it is with God that we will have to do, for He will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses His name. Of course, lying under such an oath also reflects a heavily distorted image of God to the world. This too has an analog in other relationships. We tend to mention loved ones offhandedly as people who can vouch for our character and story, but at the same time they do not take well to being dragged into our lies. When God's name is misused, as in the example of bad oaths above, what's at stake is a sin against the relationship that God has established with us. God reveals His name to Moses and to Israel so that they might know Him more intimately and understand His character more deeply. His name is meant for personal address, relationship, as in the conversation of prayer and worship, always within the context of relationship. But whenever we speak about someone, rather than to or with them, we are always in danger of somehow depersonalizing them, belittling them, objectifying them, and so betraying our relationship in small but significant ways. The danger is all the more profound when it comes to the God whom we have not seen. Hopefully all this gives a sense of the force of this third word of the covenant. So today, before you go using this command as a means of judging other people's use of the name of God, the question is firstly personal. How will you honor your relationship with God in the ways that you speak to Him and of Him to others? As you journey on, go with His blessing. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever He may send you. May He guide you through the wilderness and protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you, and may he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.